Greetings, lovers of freedom. Greetings, my wonderful people all over the world. Depending your time zone or any time you come across this video, please like, comment, and share it. Watch this video to the end because this man of God said a lot of things that you should listen and hear. Thank you.
Today is a very special day because when major prophet prophesied things, the world will be like, how can this be possible? But surely, as long as God has spoken to the major prophet, definitely whatever he says will come to pass. So that is why I am here with a prophetic survey on the state of the matter. Because every single thing that happeneth on the face of the earth as seen by the Lord and also told to his major prophet to prophesy them before they happen. You'll agree with me that some weeks ago, major prophet, I come out here and I prophesy to you. I say, I'm seeing Sowore. I say, I'm seeing Sowore leading something. Oh, myself. Even myself, sometimes I look at these prophecies. I am so surprised because the detailing of the prophecy and how they happen accurately is a shock. When Sowore has not even thought of intervening in the Nnamdi Kanu matter, when he never even thought of leading a protest, he never even thought about talking about Nnamdi Kanu or so, the Lord said, I'm seeing Sowore leading something that has to do with this very protest. Remember, the protest was prophesied, and right now we can see the protest that is going on. I need you to share the broadcast because I want to give you the prophecy of all that is going to happen at the end of it all and what everything is going to look like. Because a major prophet, I sit down here and the Lord God Almighty has taken me ahead of the time to show me things before they begin to happen. Because it is by the mercy and the grace of God that I have received this grace. I do not receive this grace by my strength or by my power, so that nobody should glory in himself or anybody come to take the honor. Major prophet will not take the honor of the Almighty God. Major prophet will give God all that he deserves, because it is not by my power that all these revelations and deeper things have been made revealed to me. It is the grace of God upon my life. Because a few weeks ago I told you that I'm seeing Sowore leading something in the country. Because when the Lord visualized it and showed it to me, I was like, what is this all about? I see something all about leading something. And today we have seen the protest led by Sowore right there in Nigeria about free Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. But as I'm looking at the issue right there about Sowore and everything that is happening about the protest, this is what's called a setup. I look at this thing, I say, what is this all about? Maybe major prophet should come out and join the protest, or everybody should join this protest. But when I look at the spiritual realm and the terrain, and see this was called a setup in the realm of the physical. This is what's called a setup in the realm of the physical. It's a shocking setup in the physical world regarding what's happening right there in Abuja. It's a setup. And this setup is not a setup for any other person, but what's called a setup for all the agitators. Because I know major prophet may not be seen as an agitator, but major prophet is a truth teller, and also a man who loves what's called honesty, and a man who loves a man who loves the right thing to be done and the right thing to be put in place. Because when I look at the spiritual world, I am seeing what's called a protest. But when I look into the protest, I see this was called weakening of protest, and not only weakening of the protest, but at the end of it all, this was called a setup for all of the agitators. Because what is going to happen about Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has taken place already, and what's going to happen is already done and dusted and signed and sealed, and waiting for the appropriate time for what's going to happen to quickly happen. Major prophet will not come out here to give you a wrong message. That's why major prophet, I always follow things the way they are unfolding, because when I give you prophecy about things, I follow it spiritually the way it is going, and I tell you, this is what the Lord has said, and whatever the Lord has said is what will surely come to be at the appropriate time of the manifestation of that which God has revealed. Because when I look at the thing that is happening, the Lord says, this thing you are seeing now is what's called a setup for all the agitators to be tracked and to be trapped. But the agitators are wiser than what is going on right there, because no matter what the protests look like, and no matter how tense the protest will be, and no matter how serious the protest will be, at the end of it all, this protest, they will weaken it. They will weaken it. This protest will be weakened. But the issue of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is going to take a different shape. And it's not going to be the issue of Nigeria and the Nigerian people with their own strength. This is what's called something that's going to happen from the outside of the country and coming from a higher authority to make sure that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is out and the people of Biafra gets what they are asking for. Because this is what's called the pure truth of the matter. It's not going to be by the protest that anything can happen. At the end of the protest, a lot of harms will be done, and a lot of people will be trapped, and a lot of traps set will catch up with the Lord. This is what the Lord has revealed to major prophet, and we must continue to pray and also put everywhere in prayer that God should decide the matter, and especially this matter for peace to reign everywhere. We are looking at what's called the intervention of the Almighty. When the Lord God Almighty intervenes, it becomes the right intervention. But when man is doing it on his own, man will do their own, and at the end, the power of man will not be able to accomplish it all. So we need to pray and also continue to pray and look at what God has, and also to look at what the will of God is going to be, because the position of things is that what you are seeing right now happening right there is what's called a setup. Please let the network be okay, because right now the major prophet is giving the revelations the way they are. Because when I begin to reveal things the way they are, it is something that needs to be taken record of, and to take your Bibles and your pen and put today's date and begin to put it down, today's date, and everything that the Lord has revealed and how it is going to be. Because this was called a setup. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's protest is a setup to trap all of the agitators. But the real people that are agitators are wiser than all of that, and they have already taken their shield, and they've already taken their escape route and everything. Because the issue of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and the people of Nigeria and the government of Nigeria is not something of individuals to come out and begin to struggle. Oh, release him, don't release him. Oh, we are protest, or we're not protest. Because all of those things will be, overpowered by the power that be. And when it's powered by the power that be, it seems, oh, have you done your worst? And the further protests and all of these things will create what's called a strong heart for the people who have hardened their heart to do what they want to do. But major prophet have seen it all and understood the handwriting on the wall, because the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is going to come from a higher authority that cannot be refused and can never ever be thwarted. When the authority comes up to handle the matter, and this matter is going to be handled spiritual versus physical versus authority, everything is going to be in place. And when these things are done in the realm of the spirit and completed at the due day and the right time, nobody can be able to say no. And no lawyer, no judiciary, and no judge, and no prosecutor can be able to avert or stop the higher authority that is going to come. Because I see several things. I'm looking in the realm of the spirit. I look at what's called spiritual options, whether it's going to be by people coming by fire by force, and by fire by force is not going to solve the problem properly the way it ought to be solved. Because Mazi Nnamdi Kanu case is not about leaving the detention. It's not about, coming out of prison. It's not about being set free. It's all about the agitation to to be properly harnessed and properly addressed once and for all. And when it is addressed once and for all, it becomes once and for all, and everybody will know where their stands are. Because major prophets are giving grace to now begin to look at the spiritual world and how things are going, to begin to look at everything that is spiritually unfolding. Because a trap that is set by agitation or set to make sure the agitators are trapped has already been set. And this is what is going to cause a lot of issues and cause a lot of people to be arrested even in their houses over there. But we are praying for peace of God to reign. We are praying that God should take control. We are praying that the right things should be put in place. We are praying that what's called proper discussions are made. We are praying that everything should go the right way, so that also the citizens of this country can be able to breathe in and out, and also be able to now know where their stands are. Because as for the people of Biafra, what they are looking for is not just Mazi Nnamdi out of prison. This was called the addressing of the issues that borders on the people of Biafra and what has taken place in 1966 and 1966 to 1967 to 1968 and 69, and the end of war, and everything that happened right there, and everything that has happened during the Civil War, and all of that has not been addressed up to date, is what these people are looking up. That this case of Mazi Nnamdi should bring about what's called the addressing of that issue, so that everything and everybody will know where their stands are. Because the people of Nigeria, as they stand right now, are already in what's called a cross corner, And if you are thinking, oh, Mazi Nnamdi case is going to bring about what's called a protest that will, shake the nation. No, that's not the protest that will shake the nation and bring the nation to stand still. Because when we talk about the spiritual world and look at what's called the realm of the spirit and things that are there, and begin to look at it and interpret them the way they are going spiritually, we'll be able to tell you what the next phase is going to look like and what the next phase is going to be. Because in the realm of the spirit, the protest that is going to bring Nigeria to their toes and bring everything to stand still is in the realm of the spirit, cooking. Remember when I give you prophecy, I said, I'm seeing a coup, and you thought it was a joke. For the Lord to prove to you, this year did not pass. You heard about the rumor. Making that, yes, major prophet, I'm not saying anything until the Lord has spoken to major prophet to prophesy. And I want to use this medium to now talk to the people in authority, especially the Nigeria leaders and all of that. They should learn how to be democratic. When they are democratic, they can be able to handle issues, even without issues getting to the level of people agitating or fighting or going here and there. Nigeria should learn how to handle issues, especially people who are in authority. People who are in authority should realize that the opportunity given to them is to prove a point and show the world that they can lead themselves. They can lead their nation. They can be what's called the eye of their nation. Because when something has gone wrong and you don't know how to remedy it, it can bring a lot of disaster. Because this right now that you're seeing right now, that the issue of Mazi Nnamdi now become a trap that they are using, and also planning how to trap the people and also get the people and all of that. It is another mistake and a blunder. Because I know that every citizen of every country has the right to protest, have the right to freedom of speech, have the right to go out and come in, have the right to everything that they need to do as far as they are the citizens of that country. Every citizen of any country has what it takes or the right to step out and protest. But Nigerian leaders and the people who are in authority should be wise not to now compound their problems and make things more difficult for them, because a higher authority is going to speak to you. A higher authority will speak to you. It will speak to you. And when higher authority comes to speak to you, you will not have any other excuse anymore, because major prophet have been given grace to see all of the things that's going to play out. Because I'm seeing what's called the ending of this October and the month of November before December. Higher authority will speak to you. Higher authority will speak to you, and by the time the higher authority has spoken, it will be a message that you cannot say no. It will be an issue you cannot handle, because the issue of Mazi Nnamdi, like I prophesied before his coming, I prophesied when he was right there in London, in England. I prophesied right here that I'm seeing Mazi Nnamdi Kanu back to Nigeria. I say I see him back to Nigeria, and I prophesied that water enter Gary and the Gary become nyama nyama because the clock has gotten to the time. Don't forget that this is the major prophet that prophesied it before it started happening. And I prophesied the court case. And I prophesied a year before the court case. And I said, I'm seeing the case over in the month of October. And they will tell Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to go discharged and acquitted. And they will be coming out of the gate. But on the way, as it's coming out, a higher voice will come and say, keep him there. Whether it's free or not free, they should detain him there. And that is exactly what the Lord revealed to me. And I prophesied it. And that is exactly what played out. That's what played out. But I'm telling you right now, as a major prophet that God has given grace to see, that I'm seeing what's called a higher authority that is going to speak regarding the matter of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Believe it or not, it is not by protest that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu will be out. It's not by Sowore led protest that will make Nigerian government to act. No. A higher authority will speak, because Sowore has done his best. He's a good man that wants to make sure that everybody is happy. He wants to make sure that the right things are done. He wants to make sure that things that need to be done, that we need to advance. We need to do things and do it the right way. He's a man who is an activist. Is a good man, because any man who can surrender his life and lay down his life for others is a good man. Any man who has food to eat but did not go and sleep and say, oh, I have food to eat, what is my concern? Any man who can afford to buy clothes and has everything and have a house to stay, but yet still leave those things to come out and speak for the poor, to speak for the needy, to speak for the masses, to speak for the voiceless, that man is a good man. And therefore Sowore will be blessed by God. And at the right time, Sowore will reap every labor that he has labored to make sure that we have a better country. His labor will not be in vain, because every man that is standing to tell the people in authority the truth is a good man. Truth must be said at all times, for the sake of the innocent people, for the sake of the common masses. And a good man with his labor, the labor of a good man will never be in vain. There's always a reward, and the reward will surely get into your hand at the appropriate time. Major prophet will not stop prophesying what the Spirit have revealed. So Mr. Sowore should get ready for God, because there's a reward for everything.